is up, everybody? It's the Inhuman one here, and today we're going to pick up right where we left off with Vita Carnis Part 4. And this is essentially like, I would call it a lot, it's a live reaction, if you will, but more than anything, it's me trying to understand what the heck is going on with this thing, because there is some really awesome lore. There's all kinds of different developments coming out. There's even I'd say hints towards something that happened in the past with the royal family. There's hints towards what happened in the future after the documentary, talking about infestations and all that. At this point in time, we have learned about the 7 major creatures that come from the crawl, including the secret or the bonus creature that was called the Singularity. After we did that, we did learn, I'm going through my notes here, we learned how to take care of our trimming pet, which was a lot of fun. And those things are disgusting. I'll tell you right now, if this was real, I would not have a pet trimming. Those things look so slimy and disgusting. I don't know if I'd be able to deal with it. But other than that, we then jumped into the trimming, how to take care of them, like, so what temperature, what kind of lifestyle activities, diet, exercise, entertainment, etc. Even in how to clean them and give them affection, so which I would never do. Anyways, after that, we were left with another secret image from the royal family line where the prince suddenly awakened and the critters pretty much hid from his sight. So that's where we left off. We're gonna find out where exactly we're at in the in the playlist. I think we're gonna be jumping into the meat snake specimen footage, and then the majority of the video will probably take place, I guess, reviewing the Mimic Defense instructional tape, if I'm not mistaken. What is up, Knight of Blackfire? What is up, Mr. Singularity? Those puzzles were very awesome, by the way. Just so you guys know, Mr. Singularity has been incredibly helpful this entire time that I've been experiencing the, this experience. It's been amazing, by the way. But what I think is, I guess, most fun or most enjoyable is that whenever you guys engaged, and Mr. Singularity had some really cool hints towards some information about the Vita Carnis analog horror, and specifically about the flavor enhancer. So there was something really important that he told us about the flavor enhancer that kind of revealed that maybe it's not as innocent as it seems, and people seem to have knowledge of what is going on and the truth. So to give you guys a bit of context, there was a puzzle that was in Morse code. So I used a Morse code translator, and this is actually the second puzzle, but it was the same concept. I put the Morse code into this section here on the right, and then the left it spit out some text, and it gave us a warning that the flavor enhancer might actually contain host spores. Now, if you remember, the host of influence was one of the last creatures that we learned about that is able to actually manipulate and control humans and eats their organs once it actually infects them with the spores that it shoots out. So that was really creepy. So that makes me think that there are literal spores that are being consumed so that more people can be infected. The second puzzle that Mr. Singularity provided was a little bit more of a trip. So we had Morse code that translated to binary code, and then binary code translated to this cryptic message here. I'm pretty familiar with things like ciphers and things like that, so I had the Caesar cipher that I used, and I input it here, input that sequence, and then from there I saw a message that says, the bay holds the circle that is where the redacted is. So that very well may be where the prince is. The bay holds the circle where the prince is, the bay holds the circle where the answer is, something, right? There is something there in the bay that we identified as being located in the the eastern Canadian border, but it was specifically somewhere around, let's see, I took some notes here, took many pages of notes, Hudson Bay. So the bay that they're referring to is definitely Hudson Bay. I'll show you guys a very quick map that shows the location I'm referring to, and then we'll take a look. I hope the puzzles help with the lore. Me too. They were very helpful. I think Meat Snake video is next. Yes, sir. We're gonna jump right into that. I'm just kind of doing a little recap, and then yeah, we're gonna jump right in. I think we're probably only gonna be able to do those 2 videos. Most of the videos have taken like, I don't know, I'd say probably 5 to 8 minutes in length. Takes about like maybe 30 minutes to review because I'm stopping at every frame. So interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Let me see. Hudson Bay map. Well, that's a terrible picture, but here's a better picture. Hudson Bay. There you go. So it looks like it's probably around here, like on the action. I don't know if you guys can even see my cursor, but I thought I activated it where you can. But it's going to be in the, I guess, the northwestern side of the bay, in between Chesterfield Inlet all the way to the Nelson River area. But it could be any one of the islands around that as well. So the northern islands, I'd say. So it's very close by. I don't think it's in James Bay because the indication where the monoliths were located seemed to be the northwestern part of Hudson Bay. So anyways, super interesting, super exciting, and I just can't wait to kind of see how it jumps in, like how that location and how that Morse code and those puzzles kind of help us understand more about the lore. So let's go ahead and open up the viewing order playlist, and then let me move this out of the way. It's confusing me. The Knight of Blackfire said the snake video was next. I think you're correct as well. Okay, we can see the cursor. I know it's annoying, but it helps because I often point to stuff and I didn't realize that the first 2 streams I was like pointing around and everything. What if it's an island not on any map? After all, stuff is being covered up. That's very true and possible. I did mention that it could be an island that wasn't, you know, what do they say? Like whenever the topographers didn't actually put it on the map because they don't want people to actually know about it. So the maps that they reveal to the public don't have those islands on there. Mr. Singularity says, my Discord might give a hint to the island. Okay, great. That's one thing I didn't check out yet. So I was able to look at the puzzles. Next, I'm going to go into the videos that you have posted, Mr. Singularity, and then I'll look at the Discord as well. So I think you're onto something, Knight. I think you are, though. I mean, obviously they're hiding something from us, right? All right, why is it muted? I'm going to crank up the volume. We're going to skip the ad first. Crank up the volume just a bit. All right. And we're going to go full screen. Good stuff. All right, let's do this. Oh, that's not it. That's not the one. We're going to have to skip a billion videos. So let's see. We have to go Meat Snake Specimen. My bad, guys. I'm going to take notes. Obviously, we're going to have a whole page of notes here. This is going to be insane. I think that now we're going to get into like the more creepy real world stuff outside of the documentary. So let's see. We got the Meat Snake Specimen. Meat Snake Specimen archived footage. So I wonder if this is archived by the National Living Meat Institute, or it's the government officials that have been keeping the Singularity's presence kind of like unknown. Also, the same people that put a wall and fence around the monoliths. And I'll keep checking back to chat as well to make sure I'm keeping up with you guys. Nothing yet. There you go. Hey, this one looks more official. You know how the other warnings have been a little janky? This one seems to have like better formatting. Warning: the unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or viewing of the following footage is strictly prohibited. Infringement of these instructions leads to severe penalties enforced by federal law. Discard this tape immediately. No. I refuse. So this is certainly a government type, reproduction. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit more. Sorry, guys. I want to get it up to 30 so I can actually hear it. 1945, when the war finally ended. Okay. So here we've got a few things. We're looking at tunnel discovery. It's probably a meat snake. 1945 camp. It says head, end of tail. That might very well be referring to that meat snake that was, I think it was 50 meters long though, but let's check our notes real quick. We learned about a meat snake through this article, and the article mentioned that there was a meat snake that was possibly alive due to the bodies that were dead or whatever fed to it through the war, fed by an occult group. So there was probably somebody worshipping the meat snake or whatever. There was a war, so there was plenty of bodies to go around, and they fed this meat snake endless amounts of it. As we know, the meat snakes do pretty much like consume the food and then immediately grow because of it, and so they make the meat or whatever they consume part of themselves. So this is really interesting and makes me think that it might be tied to that very article. I'm looking for the meat snake. I'm at the mimic right now. I've taken so many notes, so my apologies. Let's see. Covered in transparent coating, blah, blah, blah. Largest meat snake ever discovered. It was 40 meters long. So this one's like 30 meters based on what we're looking at here. But the largest meat snake ever discovered was 40 meters long, and it was an underground railway made during the war. Fed by possible cult activity and the bodies from the war that were fed to the snake. Okay, so it could very well be the same thing. You know how sometimes news articles exaggerate? Maybe that 40-meter meat snake was really just 30. Let's see what we got in the chat so far. The Great Beast Jeff, the meat snake. Uh-oh. They named it? That's great. Knight says... Knight of Blackfire says, remember when the newspaper said something about a giant abnormal snake? Yep. Mr. Singularity says, it's Jeff. Let's just call him Jeff for short, right? That's so funny. This is it. This is the exact same one. So, good thing we took notes. It looks like Mr. Singularity knows its name, which is interesting. And then Knight of Blackfire is letting us know that... also confirming, yeah, it looks like it's the same snake.
The cleanup crew made a grotesque discovery. Found completely filling the tunnel was a meaty wall.
Oh gosh. So in 1945, after the war, a cleanup crew was exploring an underground railway. So cleanup crew explored underground railway. Man, my handwriting is getting so bad. It was so beautiful the first few days, the first few streams. That didn't last. No, I named it Jeff because it needs a name. He is the biggest boy. Yeah. Okay, I like it. Jeff it is. So this meat snake, at first they just encountered a large wall of flesh. When they closely inspected it, they saw that the meat snake, as they normally do, was adorned with skulls, multiple skulls. As opposed to just having the single skull, this one had actually utilized a number of skulls to decorate its face. So this is pretty bad. Jeff is an artiste. Okay. Wall of flesh adorned with skulls, revealed to be a giant meat snake. So just as we thought, the news article did exaggerate the length just a bit. It's not 40 meters long, it was 30 meters. He said it's impeccable size. Maybe like impossible size. Impeccable is maybe not the word for that, but I'll take it. Now, this meat snake does have some abnormalities. So I'd like to know what those abnormalities are. And I'm going to actually list them just to make sure we understand what makes it different and why is this one so important.
First was the coloration. A typical meat snake's color is bright reds and light browns. This particular meat snake was a very deep maroon.
Okay, so it had a maroon coloration to it. Most of the meat snakes are reds or browns, shades of red or brown, which if you think about it, kind of like blood or flesh, right? As it gets older or it dries out, it's going to get more brown in color. But this was a deep maroon. It made the skulls its teeth. Oh my gosh. So here I thought it was adorning itself with the skulls like they normally do, but it actually used the skulls as teeth, according to Mr. Singularity. That's beautiful.
Another strange thing about it was its behavior. This creature barely moved. Meat snakes are normally sluggish and encumbersome, but the specimen discovered seemed to lack even basic motor functions.
I see the teeth now, and that is crazy. So this one lacks basic motor functions, which essentially means he doesn't know how to move or cannot move, and that could be because of his great size, or it could be for another purpose altogether. Now, Mr. Singularity mentioned that the skulls were used as teeth, and here it looks like we have what I would assume are cow skulls, and these, not so much human. It could be a cow or a horse, because I don't know, I don't think they had. No, I'm thinking World War I. I'm getting my wars mixed up. So around 1945, I'm imagining, I think World War II is coming to a close. So they wouldn't have horses or anything like that in combat like they did in World War I. But anyways, these are definitely cow or horse type skulls, and their noses, like their nasal cavities, have pretty much been sharpened to be used as teeth. And that is freaky. Well, it is in a tunnel. It probably grew too much to be able to move in a tunnel. I agree. Yeah, it's either so big that it can't move, or it's really big and it's not supposed to move for some reason. It is conserving energy for now. And remember, we've been kind of led to the conclusion that these creatures are like the honeypot ants of the Vita Carnis species. The honeypot ants actually provide food and energy and like sugars and whatever else and foods and nutrients to the rest of the colony. So maybe the meat snake's sole purpose is to consume, grow in mass, and then be eaten or ingested or somehow provide the energy to its other counterparts. We don't know yet, but it's definitely not wanting to. Again, it grew either because of this cult or just some random set of circumstances that made it get this big, like some sort of anomaly. But there's definitely something going on here, and these creatures interact with each other, in a way that we just don't understand yet. And that makes me think that they're very sentient and that they're actually a lot smarter than we let them on to be. So, war. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. If I remember right, the Germans did use horses on the Eastern Front. Okay, I know that in World War I, horses were certainly used. I did not know in World War II if they were, so thank you for clarifying. I think the Poles also used horses. War horse skulls. Nice. War horses. So, that's pretty bomb.
Behavior was that of a plant's, stationary, with only minor movements within. One would assume it was dead.
So it was completely stationary, and they referred to it as a type of like plant-like behavior. It's just sitting there, kind of, like Mr. Singularity said, conserving energy.
The reason the meat snake may act this way may be because it was completely lodged in place.
Okay, so it could be the reason for it not moving was it lodged in place? I mean, that seems like the most simple and logical answer. But again, we don't know exactly why it chose this area. And here's the thing. They're not hunters, right? And there's certainly not horses or cows in a tunnel. Now, even if it was an underground railway that was used, it's a railway. So they were probably using carts or train-like vehicles to be able to transport goods and materials to and from their bases, right? It's not like necessarily that they were bringing horses, unless they were horse-drawn carts that were on the railway, which is possible. But even so, they're not hunters. Meat snakes are not hunters at all. They're scavengers. And so they're not going to go out and eat something as large as the horse. They're just simply not going to do that. So they must have been fed this, right? And that's what makes me go back to the occult group that was responsible for allegedly feeding this creature. Jeff was in that tunnel until he redacted. The times of World War II propaganda was at its prime. Hibernation. Yeah, okay, I like that. That is very, very possible.
And minimized movements to conserve energy. But how would it have gotten this deep into the tunnel in the first place? And by the looks of weathering, it had been in there for quite some time.
So it's been in here for a long time, and they're discovering it after the war. So it's probably been sitting here for years.
So how did it get so large? The answer was discovered by a different cleaning crew who found the other end of the tunnel.
Okay. So a separate cleaning crew found the other end of the tunnel.
They followed it until it met with the other end of the meat snake. Alongside it was a huge pile of carcass.
Oh, whoa. That scared me. Oh, gosh. It's probably going to say a huge pile of corpses.
It was a huge pile of
Yep.
Inside it was a huge pile of
Oh, yeah. 100%. Bones and whatever else. So here at 2 minutes and 22 seconds, we have a image of pile of bones. This was behind the meat snake. We know that when they eat, they don't typically consume the bones. They just use the flesh and whatever else. They use those preserving fluids and chemicals inside of them, and they dispose of the bones because they don't necessarily digest them. That is creepy. Very creepy. Jeff's skin is almost scab-like. That is disgusting, but interesting. The gore feast. Gross. Oh, that's noisy. Sorry.
This meat snake's skin also displayed great amounts of resilience. It took several days of cutting to even obtain a sample.
Wow. Okay, so incredibly resilient skin. Resilient skin. So they did take a sample.
Here, you can see the clear difference between this meat snake specimen versus a normal meat snake's membrane.
Okay, it says the comparison shows the great difference between a regular meat snake, right, and the specimen found, left. That is disgusting. So, I mean, the major difference, of course, is the coloration. This obviously looks much thicker. This is a lot more thin and flaky, and this is really thick. So it's probably, I don't know, almost like leather at this point, right? The gore feast. Yuck.
Testing on the sample showed that it had great immunity to damage. It tolerated extreme freezing temperatures, extreme heat temperatures.
Okay, so the skin sample of the giant meat snake, Jeff, if we will, is incredibly immune to like differences in temperature. So extreme temperatures, for example, cold and heat, it's actually very resistant to.
And even high doses of radiation.
It can even withstand radiation. So we have any range of temperatures, and then now we're talking about radiation. That's interesting. No pelvis bone, no skull, and no hair and toenails. Oh. They don't like eating pelvis bones, skulls, no hair, no toenails. That's right. I do remember that because I thought that was very specific when they mentioned that. They used the skulls, obviously, and this one did too, to great effect. I can't believe that it had skull teeth. I forgot to mention that. That's pretty unique.
It is a wonder how such durability can occur in an organic creature.
So they're not sure how an organic creature can even have this kind of resistance. Now, there are certain creatures in real life. They're called water bears, or gosh, I forgot their scientific names. Man, I can't remember for the life of me. And they are also incredibly resistant to temperatures, and they can even live in vacuums and stuff. So, water bear. Tardigrades. So, tardigrades are Wikipedia is the only source I trust. Tardigrades. Let's see. Blah blah blah. They're microscopic animals, but they're incredibly resilient to anything. Like they can be found. They can live in space. They can live in volcanoes. They can live in the deepest depths of the water. I mean, these things are incredible. I'm trying to find out the habitat. Let's see. I wanted to show you how resilient these things are, but it reminds me a lot of that. It's just talking about basic stuff here. Physiology. Okay, reported. So they can be in the deep sea, hot springs, on the top of Himalaya. So we're talking a huge range of climates. Polar regions, equator. I mean, so these things are pretty much everywhere. Under layers of ice, ocean sediments. I mean, these things can live everywhere. But that's pretty neat. As long as they can retain a bit of moisture, they can live anywhere, which is really neat. Oh, it says here, there you go. Tardigrades are thought to be able to survive even complete global mass extinction events caused by astrophysical events such as gamma ray bursts or large meteorite impacts. Some of them can withstand extremely cold temperatures down to, I guess that's Kelvin, 0.01 Kelvin, close to absolute zero, while others can withstand extremely hot temperatures up to 420 Kelvin for several minutes. Pressures about 6 times greater than those found in the deepest ocean trenches. Ionizing radiation at doses hundreds of times higher than the lethal dose for a human, and the vacuum of outer space. Tardigrades that live in harsh conditions undergo an annual process of cyclomorphosis, allowing for survival in sub-zero temperatures. So these things are incredible, and I know that we just took a entirely huge tangent here, and we're studying tardigrades in biology, but that meat snake did remind me of that. You certainly did. Let's see what we got. The skull teeth are in a way of a leech. Yeah, I noticed that. They lined his mouth in a circle. I thought that was really interesting. The Knight of Blackfire says, the role of horses for each nation depended on its military strategy and state of economy, and was most pronounced in the German and Soviet armies. That makes perfect sense. And I remember them being such a huge contrast to the technology that some of the other nations had at that time. And it was horses against tanks in some instances, which is bad. This is crazy. Both Germany, 2.75 million, and the Soviet Union, 3.5 million, employed more than 6 million horses. So there's certainly horses very prevalent in World War II. Knight says, horses in World War II were used by the belligerent nations for transportation of troops, artillery, material, and to a lesser extent, in mobile cavalry troops. Taken from Wikipedia. Hey, guess what? We just learned about tardigrades, or water bears, from Wikipedia as well. Uh-oh, Mr. Singularity is getting all creepy again. Red triangle, black circle. Let's see how this ties to the meat snake.
Another strange phenomenon is the smell off the skin. Normally, it would have a sour smell of rotting flesh.
So it even smells different. This is crazy. It's unique qualities, I'm sure, serve a greater purpose that I don't know just yet.
But the specimen displayed a rather pleasant smell.
It had a pleasant smell. Most of them do not smell good. They kind of have a sour stench to them.
Like that of cooking scrambled eggs.
Pleasant smell like that of scrambled eggs. I mean, there's nothing like some scrambies in the morning, I love that smell. But it would have been even better if he smelled like bacon and eggs, because then I'd have been his best friend.
Meat snake was later discovered to be missing by unknown sources.
Okay, hold on. Let's see what happened here. We had some weird skips.
Meat snake was later discovered to be missing by unknown sources.
We got an image of some sort of general or some sort of government-like official. Okay, I want to take a picture of this dude. Hard to tell who he is. Yeah, it's really hard to tell actually, but the meat snake was then missing, right? And he said it was later discovered to be missing by an unknown survivor. It seems that's what he says, but then it breaks out, and that looks like some sort of military type uniform. And we're obviously redacting or blocking his face off so we can't identify who he is, but we know that the government is somehow tied to this Vita Carnis phenomena. Obviously, they've not quarantined off necessarily, but they have like sectioned off the monoliths near the bay, and they've also, what else did they do? They've also tried to block out the existence of singularities in the documentary. So, and any information about them has been incredibly hard to get. I think they were only able, like the normal public or whatever, was only able to get one classified document that had very little information on it. So I guess I'll go ahead and screen print this bro here. Let's see. Just in case he's important. Let's see. I need a new image. Web. 1280 by 720. Create. All right. That's our guy. Beautiful, isn't he? That's obviously not going to give us too much information, but it's more so just so I can remember that obviously there's some sort of government involvement here. So let's go to our analog horror folder, Vita Carnis. And technically, I would imagine that's something of a secret message, you know? That works for me. I'll take that. It's some sort of hint, obviously, towards the government involvement. Oh gosh, here we go. Let's see. Just like morning eggs with a pinch of flavor enhancer. You keep that stuff away from me. Red triangle, black circle. Red triangle, black circle. Oh my gosh. Night of Blackfire says, for the storybook page, try slowing the video down. That'll probably... Okay. I don't know how to do that here, though, like on YouTube. I'm not sure how to do that. Let me take a look at this bro one more time, because I'm hearing red triangle, black circle quite a bit. And maybe he even has that same coloration. Dang it, I suck. No, I missed. I wish I knew how to slow it down here, because it's really hard. These like are almost frame perfect. Oh my gosh. On his, I don't know what, lapel. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what that is, but on his like shirt, on his jacket or whatever, no, this is where they're usually adorned with all the medals and whatever else. There is literally, although we can't confirm the color, definitely seems to be a black circle, and there's a triangle inside that circle. So these dudes are the Illuminati. I'm just kidding. But I don't know what they are, but they're definitely involved. This also ties to me the shape of the monolith, because it's like an upside down triangle, and they formed a circle. I mean, there's a lot of imagery here, just a lot to unpack. But Mr. Singularity did mention that. I saw it and I just completely dismissed it. But that is very interesting. Red triangle, black circle. Although we don't have the colors, this could very well be someone that's associated with that symbol. Oh my gosh, this is creepy. That'll probably... Yeah, I don't know. If you can tell me how to do it on YouTube, like, because I'm on YouTube right now. If you can tell me how to slow down the footage, please. Like, I don't mind. Give me the tips. Any of that stuff would work for me. I just don't know how to do it. Because even if you grab, like, the player, like this little thing here, it doesn't quite go frame by frame. So it's really easy to skip stuff. Like, there's a perfect example. It skips that military official. And Mr. Singularity did clarify that pin or whatever did have the triangle and circle symbol that he's been warning us about. Oh, okay. So Night of Blackfire says, I'm a mobile user, so I might be wrong, but try that clock-looking symbol next to the arrow in the top right. Okay. The clock looking symbol. Okay. Yeah, hold on. Oh, it's a watch later. That's watch later. So like that would save it to one of my playlists so that I can watch it at a later time. Let me see. While we're here, share. That's the Vita Carnis viewing order. What is this? No, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Sorry, guys. There's replay, which just backs it up all the way, play, and then that's going to forward to the next video. We don't want to do that. Maybe settings? Ambient mode, annotations, playback speed. That's awesome. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. It does. It works. Yeah, it works. Okay, that's awesome. Well, there you go. So now we know how to adjust the playback speed, which will allow us to better get those images and those pictures that are really hard to get sometimes. Thank you so much, Night of Blackfire. You got it, man. Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, we got it. We figured it out. Thank you so much for helping with that. That's going to make it so much easier. I like how the captions say how the meat snake grew in thighs. Definitely meant to say size there. The captions, if you don't write them yourselves, it will definitely, try and fit what it thinks it's saying. Okay. More of those same colors. Okay, that's nothing. If we need to, though. Oh, there's another picture right there. We'll go ahead and slow it down. Playback speed, I think 0.5 would be good. No, kitty cat. My cat is literally in my lap. Here's my cat. I have to work. This is my job. This is how you eat every day. Your meals. She eats better than most humans. Go on. She's all pissed. I'm sorry. Okay, let's say we're on page 10. And this is a good thing because I didn't notice that these pages were numbered. So it is kind of interesting to see that. But maybe that's also a good hint to go back in my notes and make sure that we have 10 pictures, right? 10 images. Again, Night of Blackfire, thank you so much for actually suggesting that because guess what? Now we have a means to get these images so much better. So it looks like they're making contact ET style. So I'm not sure what the heck's going on here, but it looks like the prince is definitely interacting with the critter. It says here, one of the critters built up the courage to meet the now awake stranger. They crawled to the prince's side and extended their hand in friendship. The prince reached back, and together they formed the bond that would change their fate. Oh my gosh. This is too cool. And this is at 3 minutes and 31 seconds. So here we have Prince and Critter forming bond. And this was allegedly going to change their fate forever. Change their fates forever. All right, so now we got more notes going. It's excellent. Let me go ahead and okay, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get a better image than that. That's fine. That might very well be the end of that particular video. I think I saw Darian Killoy's name after that. Let's see. I need to shrink this bad boy down just a bit. I like to, if I can, get the page number. That's fair enough. And then the brightness, it actually looks fine. I mean, it looks fine. It's very easy to read this time around. Normally it's not. Hidden message 19. That I had no clue. I mean, no clue that you could change the playback speed. That's incredible. Like, that is something that I will always use from now on. Okay, Vita Carnis. We'll just play out the rest of this real quick. This is a long pause. Oh, it's because the playback hasn't sped up yet. My bad, my bad. I'm not the fastest learner. All right, more to come, more to come. I see that. I swear I saw something at the end. Hold on. Self-harm topics. 1 second, Happy Kelly. Who is this woman? I've never seen her. I see her on this damn commercial all the time. There's no way you're that happy passing a ball back and forth. Your childhood must have been very boring. I'm going to go ahead and play this down. I swear I saw something. Is that the next video trying to play and I'm just overthinking it or what? One more time. Make sure the playback doesn't change. Playback speed doesn't seem to change at all, so. Okay, no, it's not. The following content may contain... Okay. It's got some stuff, some sensitive topics. So hopefully nothing you guys can't stomach, I'm sure. Glad to help. Thank you so much. Fates forever bound, says Mr. Singularity. Ooh, I like that. I'm actually going to put that here. Fates forever bound. I really like that. Okay. I believe the next video has a very important storybook image. They are all important, but this page has an easy to miss thing. I think it's the next video. The anomaly report is important. Okay. I remember you saying specifically the last two videos had a ton of information. Okay, so... Oh, hey, what? Just Stan, what's going on, my brother? I didn't see you there. It says, it's discussing that scientists kidnapped humans and experiment them with no escape and only glass. Interesting. Interesting. You skipped the Mimic Survival Guide. Yeah, my bad. I'm going to go back to it. It's because I was messing around with that playback speed. But here we go. We're going to go ahead and jump into this Mimic Defense Instructional Tape video. We're going to make sure the playback's at normal speed. Okay. And I'm going to take some notes really quickly. This is... Why does it go back? Right here, baby. Well, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Okay, Mimic Defense. It doesn't want to play that. You see that? I don't know why it's doing that. I wonder if I can somehow, like... Is there, like, some sort of age limit or something I'm not able to look at? It keeps skipping it. I got an idea. We'll go back from the meat snake specimen. For some reason,
This saves me a ton of time because it only takes like 5
it's not letting me watch it.
Take some water, put it in my
I don't have any restrictions like that, I don't think. I mean, there'd be no need. I'll make sure that it's okay for me to watch. If it gives me like some sort of sign. Okay. It skips it, guys. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I don't think that's by design. I honestly think there's some sort of error. I'm not touching anything, and it just skips it. It's probably because it has some of those sensitive topics. Try watching it outside the playlist. Okay. It auto skips. I suggest clicking the video out of the viewing order. Okay. Thank you guys so much. You guys are so helpful. Like, seriously, I'm not being like facetious. Like, you guys are incredibly helpful. Alrighty. We'll close this out. Alright, that's better. Alright, now I can take my notes. Sorry. Mimic Defense Instructional Tape. This is probably where the meat of the video is going to be. Or the stream's going to take place. Because this is a 21-minute long video. So, it's probably going to take a while. But that's okay. We've got nothing but time. Please work. Please. That is so strange. I don't know if it has to do with the, those sensitive topics it was referring to. I can't even and I have no restrictions like that at all. Not getting this. That's weird. I don't want to read the I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to see why it's not loading. Oh, there you go. Yes. Okay. I was getting stressed. I was like, no, I want to watch this. Okay. I must have accidentally opted to not see it or something previously. Okay. If I remember right, the page I was talking about is in this video. You can skip it and come back to it later. I think we figured it out, though. I know I've seen Matt Pat of Game Theory watch it. I will remind you to later try it again. I gave some more to Matt Pat. Nice. That's awesome. Uh-oh. Red triangle. Just kidding. Well, that's not annoying or obnoxious at all. Sorry if your ears are killing you. Hold on. I need that date. That date's going to be important. So what is that? October 23rd, 1986? We don't... So I'm obviously in the States. So our time... We don't actually do our dates that way. So that's why I was like, huh? So this is dated what I believe to be October 23rd, 1986. At the time of the video's release, we have been facing a concerning increase... Uh-oh.
On a global scale. The reason for this is because we are under attack.
By mimics. Oh no, the mimic Amber Alert.
We have discovered that there has been a significant growth of mimic populations, which is threatening public safety.
Gosh, okay, so 1986, there's a huge growth of mimic population. Okay. And we know specifically that they only eat human flesh. So, I mean, that is terrifying. That means that there's something either spurring them to grow or there's obviously ideal conditions for them to thrive. Something is happening. Something bad's happening here in 1986. In 1986, I think was pretty chill. I wasn't alive then, but I was close. I was definitely thought about. That was another map of Canada, further solidifying our idea or understanding of this whole Canadian presence here, the Hudson Bay theory and all that for the location of the monoliths and the circle. So we're definitely onto something. I don't really make anything out of here, just a normal map here. Nothing too crazy. Jay, so what's going on, my brother? Hope you're doing good. This is Vita Carnis. It's an analog horror. It's something that you can find on YouTube. And I'm just trying to watch it, learn about it, figure it out, see if we can figure out the mystery. There's a lot of things like secret pages, things like that hidden within frame perfect kind of clicks. You have to stop it so you can see hidden images, hidden messages, things like that. So it's a lot of fun. I did this previously with Happy Meat Farms, which took us to an outside website, and we had to decipher all this code and all this other stuff. Vita Carnis is currently not as difficult. It's mostly all within YouTube so far. But I have a bunch of people helping me out that are kind of experts on this, so they're helping guide and keep me on track so I don't deviate too far. But Bro, hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing real good. Uh-oh. Mr. Singularity says elder. Okay, so something's going on here. Yeah, Chief, you're going to have to be a bit more specific. So specifically, Vita Carnis is a horror video about, like, there's a video series, and it has to do with like a at this point, as far as we know, a make-believe species of creatures that are like fleshy in nature, and they somehow seem to be tied to some weird occurrence that happened with a prince many years ago. And each of the species has like a certain purpose in how it interacts with us as humans in society. So there's like different levels of these creatures, 7 or 8 in total, I believe. But at first it kind of starts off as like a root type system. Then like it can bud off like these little nodes, and they're like little pests. Like there can be as big as like turtles, or even bigger actually. And then there's some that look bipedal and they walk and they attack humans and they're mimics. And then there's some that use spores to control and infect humans. There's like these giant unique creatures that there's like a few of them that are in northern Canada that formed a circle, and like they're impenetrable and indestructible, and they're like can't be moved. There's like weird government involvement stuff. And then there's also some other creature known as the Singularity. I mean, there's all this crazy stuff happening. It all seems to stem from the base species of this creature, which is called the crawl, which is that root system. But it seems to be tied to something that happened many years ago with some prince when he met this species of creatures. So it's really cool. I like it. The map. Okay. Look up the Bayes map. Then look and see and understand. Okay. So this here is probably an island. So let's look at the map again. Here we have my tardigrade rant. Hudson. Was it Hudson Bay? Yeah. I need a good... Ooh, okay. No, hold on. Alright, where is this? Okay. Is it Coral Harbor? Let's see. That's not a good map. Hey, it's not these. It's not Eskisimisi Island. Akimiski Island. It doesn't look like none of it. None of it makes sense. Coral Harbor? Southampton? Maybe I need a bigger map. Okay, here we go. That's better. No, what did I just do? That's a little bit better. It's either Banks Island, Victoria Island. Let's see. It's got this weird flat part, which means it's a border. So we have a border here, and then we have tons of little islands. I just don't see that. All right, now let me see. Let me zoom in on this thing. We've seen that one, buddy. I need a better map. The one that I clicked on, literally, right here, takes me to that other image. That's weird. Clickbait. Alberta. Yeah, it's so hard to see because this map seems to be a little bit better. I don't see that like little grouping of islands though. That's my thing. Let's see what chat thinks. Nothing yet. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna take a yeah, I am gonna actually take an image of that, a screen print, because I don't know which island this is yet, but I certainly want to figure out which one it is. See, there's a page of the book talking about the prince and these creatures that he interacted with. I'm going to go ahead and save that. It's not necessarily a hidden image. Yeah, just a Canadian map. Okay, we'll figure out what exactly that is because I'm a little confused so far. But at least it's giving us a more precise location. Alright, let's go.
This instructional recording to teach you on how to defend yourself. Here is what you need to know about the threat. Mimics are humanoid, intelligent predators that are highly adaptive and feed solely on human prey.
Now this we know. We know what the mimics are. We know that they only eat humans, as it stated here. And they like to corner them Once they actually have their fill, they usually just kind of wander off in like a field or wherever else and digest the food. But we know that there's also variants of mimics. There's some that can look almost indistinguishable from humans if they have a consistent food source. But if they eat a ton, they become elder mimics and they get darker in appearance, pretty much impenetrable skin, but they have white faces and an eerie smile. Now the teeth move down to the throat as well. So they evolve into like these different forms based on how much and how, I guess, how readily accessible their food sources are. So interesting stuff.
Mimics gain information on people by watching their daily lives and pick to hunt people when they are most vulnerable.
Okay. So they observe. So obviously we knew that because they do prefer to hunt when humans are asleep. So somehow they break in their homes and they find ways to get them while they're sleeping. That's like their preferred method of attacking, and mine too.
The most common times a mimic will attack is when you are asleep.
See? I sleep just like that actually. But I sleep on my left side. That's the only difference.
Without walking alone or in a cornered position. Mimics are cautious and calculative creatures, taking precautions to ensure a successful hunt.
They're bastards is what they are. The smile is what gets me. Like that eerie smile on their face.
They utilize various tactics to capture a person by surprise.
Yep. We know all this so
One
far.
of the more well-known tactics is hiding itself inside of furniture.
Okay, so I was wondering whenever it did say, because it said that they can, the way I understood it in the mimic video was that they could almost like appear to be like furniture or something, but they hide inside of furniture. That's pretty creepy. So looks like pantries, wardrobes, dressers, probably under your bed, like stuff like that. Even though I thought it was really interesting that they said, oh, hey, they don't really like to stay long and wait for food or search for it too long. They get bored or they lose interest. But I would imagine, I mean, if they're smart enough to hide themselves in furniture, which could be, again, like a pantry, whatever else, like that's pretty interesting. I mean, that seems to me like they want to definitely, they have the patience to stalk their prey. So hiding under a bed or something, I don't think that would really, that would do the trick.
To blend into its environment. Common objects that mimics can hide inside are sofas.
They hide inside of sofas? That's terrible. That's creepy because my cats do that too. Now I'm never going to trust that. When I hear something, I'm going to, oh, look at this. This is hilarious, man. He's right here. I don't even know. I guess he's in a closet. Here he's in like a treasure chest. Literally like the chest, those mimic chests you get. Like, that's got to be an Easter egg, right? From Dark Souls and Dungeons and Dragons. And then here he's like in it looks like a bed. So he's like in the bed mattress, or that might be the sofa there.
Recliners, wardrobes, ottomans, and
Ottomans. I literally have an ottoman right here at my feet. I'm taking my feet right back. I don't like that.
other places a mimic can comfortably wait. Mimics are able to contort their body in ways that allow them to fit inside smaller places.
What? Okay, so they're little contortionists. Let's see. Put them side by side if possible. Okay, I can do that. I can look at. Well, let's see how much we can. Actually, we're making some good time on the video. So what I'll do is I'll try to examine all the images, see if we can put the maps. I'll have one screen with the map that they showed, and then I'll try and find a better map. The only problem was I wasn't able to find a really good reference on the web because I was just looking at the very first hits on the internet search. So I'll make sure to get a better image of Canada that maybe encompasses the entire country and any surrounding islands. That way we can identify the island that they're referring to. But yeah, I'll definitely do that. The blank place. The blank. Oh gosh. Mimic coming out of the closet. Dude, that was so funny. He's just like, hey. That's so creepy to me. That is too creepy. So they can contort themselves and fit inside smaller places. That's just lovely.
They also use it to expand their body, making themselves appear larger for intimidation.
Well, that works for me. I would definitely be intimidated if you had a smiling guy like this. Just coming at you, a naked dude running at me like this. Yeah. You know, the smile on their faces reminds me of the Titans from Attack on Titan. All right. Thirsty, guys. Sorry. I went for a long walk before this. And it's nice and warm outside. Oh my gosh. Now this is starting to remind me of the movie Mimic that's about the... one of my phobias, roaches. But I saw it as a kid when I wasn't afraid of bugs. But the roaches essentially had infested, I want to say like New York, and it was like they were causing all kinds of sickness and whatever else. And some researchers had developed a strain of a creature that was very reminiscent of a roach, but it was called like the Judas bug or something like that. I think it had to do because it was like, you know, deceitful. Anyways, well, the Judas bug would mimic a cockroach, but what it would do is it actually fed on roaches. So what happened is these Judas bug predators ended up wiping out the roach population, and then as they continued to evolve and just adapt to their surroundings, they ended up then preying or further changing, transforming, getting larger, and then now preying on humans. So that reminds me of that, because as the movies go on, it gets really ridiculous at the later. Like there's like 5 movies now, but in the first few, they just kind of look like a person in a trench coat, but then eventually they actually start looking as if they have clothes, even almost appearing entirely as humans. So that mimic obviously reminds me of the movie, plus the fact that it's even knowledgeable enough and intelligent enough to know that it can put on clothing. I mean, that's something. You just need the Hudson Bay area map. Okay, I will look up that map then. Perfect. I won't get the full country then, just the Hudson Bay. And maybe if enough time, maybe check out the new puzzle. Okay, will do. I don't know how much time we're gonna have on this one, but I'll definitely try and fit in as much as I can, of course.
Put on layers of shirts, pants, and jackets to hide their bright red skin and blend into densely populated areas.
See, this is new. Like they told us about their ability to be able to hide and mimic furniture and things like that, but they can also wear human clothing to blend in.
In very rare cases, mimics can develop and grow to look very similar to human beings.
That's one of the variants that we learned about. One of the variants, if they eat consistently, they can develop into like almost indistinguishable copies of humans, whereas the elder mimics, they discard all of their human features and they opt for like a more like voracious type hunter style appearance. They don't care about trying to blend in. They just are going to kill you pretty much.
Pairing this with clothing, it can be very hard to tell the difference between a mimic and a person right away.
Lovely. Can you imagine like these things would probably be like in New York, or they just have massive populations. I could not imagine, like bumping into something. Oh, you think it's like a homeless person, and next thing you know, he's eating your entrails. Knight of Blackfire says normal mimics can wear clothing, but then there's the variant that actually looks like humans except for, believe, their eyes. Mr. Singularity says, note that the first mimic info from Living Meat is the most trusted version. Oh. So the Living Meat Institute documentary is probably a little more accurate. Interesting. Okay.
If you are unsure if a person is a mimic, look.
Oh my gosh, those are creepy. That gives me chills. Like, look at their eyes. Just like Knight of Blackfire was saying. Wow. That is creepy. Like, that literally made my hair stand up. That's just, I don't know. So there's something about like an unnerving smile like that, and those eyes, those inhuman, no pun intended, inhuman eyes. That's just creepy. I think that's the uncanny valley, right? Like when you see, normally uncanny valley is like the psychological phenomenon where you can see faces where there's not a face. But also I think it has to do with like seeing faces that, or recognizing faces that simply aren't natural. Like that's unnerving, Oh, that's creepy. Let's see. Elder and skin. Oh. Okay, okay.
For key features that may
A skin mimic or an elder mimic.
reveal their true form. Look for abnormal facial features, like large.
Okay, we saw something. I don't like the close-ups, dude. I'm slowing it down because I'm going to use that. It's so helpful. Okay.
Look for abnormal facial features.
Oh, I missed it again. But it's really creepy. I don't know if you guys can hear what I hear, but when they slow it down and it says look for abnormal facial features, it's creepy. It's so creepy.
Look for abnormal facial features.
Don't scare me anymore. Ah, I missed it. I might have to slow it down a little bit more.
Look for abnormal facial features.
Ah, mother. Okay, I'm going to go to 2.5. This is as slow as it can go.
Abnormal facial features.
The features. Oh, I saw the features. That is so creepy to me. Oh my lordy. I don't like that. Abbreviatus. Okay. At 2 minutes and 26 seconds, we have something called abbreviatus. You know, I haven't researched a lot of the Latin that I haven't had time. Like, I have 3 YouTube channels, and I'm a full-time content creator, a struggling full-time content creator. And I have been, it's been so hard for me to do anything outside of just creating the video for each one. It's hard to do outside or external research because right now I have the 3 that I'm managing, and it's just been tough to balance my time. And then I got my kids are in sports, and, you know, I got a bunch of stuff. So I've been trying to find ways to make it work, but I'm going to have to do some research outside of the stream that's going to allow me to put everything together, because once we have experienced this entire Vita Carnis journey together, I will then post on my lore channel, which is my main channel, the full concise story explained, and then cover all the secrets and all that. I'm going to do the same, and I'm actually working on finishing up my script for Happy Meat Farm. So every time we experience one of these together and find the hints and whatever else, once I refine it and pack it into a nice little package, I'll be able to then put it on my main channel so you guys can kind of have a concise go-to video that explains the entire story. But anyways, that's creepy. I don't know if I actually printed this screen yet, and I'm tired of looking at it because that's terrifying. We'll look at that as well. That one's really easy to grab, though. Let's enhance this ever so slightly. Oh, that's creepy. Okay. I'm telling you, it's just something about an unnatural smile like that that just puts my hair on its ends. Like, it's just not pleasant. Alright, we're going to increase the size, go back to normal playback speed. We're going to check on chat. Oh, we got all kinds of stuff. Let's see what we got. I did bring up the faces of the skinned ones. Yeah, you did. You really did. Let's see. Night of Blackfire says, now you run into the problem that how can you tell if it's a mimic and not someone suffering from a drug addiction? Their true face. Yeah, this is what's underneath their little disguises. Abbreviatus. I am lore friendly. Yeah, you are. You've been incredibly helpful, actually. This entire time. 3 true faces. Okay. Wow. Okay. This is disturbing.
Like bulbous eyes.
Large bulbous eyes. Uncanny. There's that word. Wide mouths and an uncanny smile.
Wide mouths and an uncanny smile, and clammy skin.
I have clammy skin and I'm nervous. I'm like, oh gosh.
Also pay attention to other exposed body.
I think that would be a huge giveaway. Aside from the large bulbous eyes, the flat nose, and an uncanny smile, razor sharp claws and talons that are like a foot long, Probably noticed that.
Body parts like hands. Mimic people will have long fingers with no fingernails.
Mimic people have no fingernails. So, large eyes, flat noses, uncanny smile. That smile is so unnerving. Like, I don't care who you are. Long fingers. I literally spelled long backwards. I don't know what the hell is going on with me. Long fingers. It's the exhaustion. No fingernails. Got it. I am lore friendly. Yes, you are. Ain't my PFP odd? Your profile picture is odd. It's something that to me reminds me of like the Men in Black. Also, though, the face reminds me of like a Singularity, because it's like a black circle. But I don't know. I might be thinking too much into that. But I don't know. It just reminded me of the Men in Black for some reason. And then, of course, the fact that you can't see your face. It's probably because your face is indeed the Singularity instead of just, I don't know. I'm going everywhere. Knight of Blackfire says pockets and a baggy coat. Let's see.
If you were unable to see their face or hands,
Run.
watch their walking pattern. Mimic's legs are long and hunched.
So they're not perfect copies, and they're not the best actors either, right?
Their walking will be unusual and irregular.
Example?
Here's
Okay. Oh gosh, I'm always ready for like a jump scare or something, or when they just come in with that found footage and it's just really loud. Like that's what makes me jump every time. Here's what you do if you're met with a mimic.
what you do if you are met with a mimic. If it stands before you, do not panic.
I want Mr. Instructional Defense guy. How do I not panic if I see a creature that literally only eats humans that's right in front of me? How would one keep one's composure? Uh-oh. I'm lore friendly. Hey, my profile pic odd pockets bag coat. Okay, so maybe Mr. Singularity's profile picture is the same as the military guy that had his face blocked out as well. It could be that too.
Stand your ground and try to
It's like the Bush commercial. I don't know. There's like this beer. I've never tried it before, and it's called Bush. Bush Light. I don't know what it is, and there's all these commercials about how to defend yourself against an attack of a bear attack, pretty much, right? Like, so if you see a bear and it's really close to you and it looks like it might be aggressive. Like, well, what do you do? You got to stand your ground, make yourself bigger, and all they do is they carry the cases of the beer, and then to really scare the bear, you have to open the beer. I was like, oh gosh, who are these marketing guys? Let's see. Hint: you've seen Singularity pop today. Oh, so that must have been that military guy that was in the snake video. Then the one that I took a screen snap of. Brian Santos says, "Hola." What is up, my friend? How are you doing? Bienvenido. Profile pic. Okay. Not the same, but similar. Oh. Well, okay. So not the same person, but they are similar. That's interesting. But we know that there's ties to the snake video, and that the people, whether it be military or government officials that have the pins with the triangles and the circles. Red triangle, black circle. Make plenty of noise and emit the Wi-Fi signals.
Maintain eye contact.
Right here.
A mimic will hesitate to attack a potential threat. If you are
If you've got a piece.
with a weapon, aim for the head or legs.
Okay. Well, they did mention though that most weapons were going to be ineffective. I'm not sure if it's because they're like super strong, or it seems like they're resilient. One. And two, they said that they're not really effective. You'd rather want to use a weapon as a barrier than as a weapon to try and kill the mimic. So if you aim for the head, maybe the eyes, something like that, it makes it more difficult to see. I don't know if it has any vital organs that would, like its head, like it has a brain or anything like that. But head always makes sense. Legs also make sense for the mobility part. If you can immobilize it, that's important. Now, shooting something's legs or head, unless you're a great shot, it's pretty tough. But I am a great shot. You shall see me at a later time, maybe. Oh, gosh. I want to meet you, but I don't. Not the same, but some. Okay, good. I'm all caught up on the comments. Let's see it. Boop.
These are the best areas to immobilize the thread.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that I know. Try and immobilize. Immobilize. Attacking. You want to attack either the head or legs, which makes sense.
Fight back and don't let it get a hold on you.
Oh, I'm fighting. I will never die without giving up a good fight.
Find a mimic that hasn't discovered.
A faraway mimic.
Stay out of sight. Call the authorities and alert them of your location.
Okay, so this is kind of similar to the other video. The Living Meat Institute gave us a bunch of information about this as well, and they specifically said a lot of these same things, except they don't really want you to fight the mimics. They want you to run if you can and avoid confrontation. And again, they did say, yeah, if you're further away from it and you spot one, to call the authorities. In either case, they really don't want you confronting these creatures.
Stay where you are to avoid startling the mimic.
Why would I? Okay. I'm gonna startle the mimic. What if I bump into a wall or something, or slam a door loud, and it's like the mimic's like, oh gosh. The mimic is probably gonna take notice and be like, food. If the mimic gives chase.
If the mimic gives chase, run.
Yes.
Try to get some.
Gosh. I don't like it. Let's see. Have you noticed a tiny red pixel? Ooh. Well, I am blind as a bat. So, I see a big-ass red mimic. I don't see a red pixel, though. I will need to... Ooh, I'm going to need to look at that, then. I am cleaning my glasses, too. Maybe that'll help. Okay, have you noticed a tiny red pixel? Now I want to go back and see if I missed something. Oh. I'm going to keep watching it as normal, but I will stay on the lookout for something like that. I will try and look for it. Tiny red pixel. I'm going to put a note for that, because you always give some of the best hints without ruining stuff. You're very lore friendly, like you said. So we'll see. I'll see if I can spot something like that.
Do not leave the area.
Wait. I'm so caught up on the pixel, I don't even know what's happening now. Okay, we have to run.
Try to get somewhere out of sight and hide. Do not leave the area.
Get out of sight.
Officials will need to locate you to help.
Stay low and quiet. They did say that stay low thing. I just can't imagine that that's going to help at all.
Stay low and stay quiet.
Stay low, stay quiet.
The information you have learned, use it well, and stay safe.
I'm over here scratching my screen to make sure that the dirt on my screen isn't a tiny red pixel now. I'm hooked. Please don't jump. Okay, I hear them like flipping tapes around. Just pausing it every few seconds. Okay. Looks like we're popping in a new VHS tape. Oh, my profile pic contains a red pixel. Alright. Alright. Have fun. Ooh, okay. We have a new date range here. This seems to be like the second tape, technically. Um, this is evidence tape. Christopher and Janice. Okay, 1983. Christopher and Janice, 1983. Observe footage for confidential information completed. Discard and destroy all copies of this tape immediately. Not complete. It's supposed to be destroyed and discarded. So we need to understand what this case is. What is unique about Christopher and Janice? And why would this be confidential? Destroy and discard. This is confidential. See, obviously when you start getting to all this like confidentiality and this secret type communication, you know the government's involved, which means that they have more knowledge than what they're letting out to the public. You know, so why are they hiding? What are they hiding from us, and then why? The first mimic found footage. PTSD. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I remember that we saw a little clip of one actually breaking into a room. Seemed to break into like a female's home or room or something. So let's go. We'll be on the lookout for any hidden pages and things like that as well. And we'll slow down the playback if we need to. I'm looking at the fingers. Okay. Those are humans. I was making sure that there weren't long fingernail-less fingers. Let me see if I can put the closed captions on for these full. Somebody's redacted or blocked out. He's like, hey, you're an unlucky bystander. Sorry. Let's go catch some footage. Yeah, it really is, bro. And my screen has increased brightness. I increased the brightness so much after the Happy Meat Farms video because there are so many secrets I just had a tough time finding without the brightness maxed out. So I brought it down a little bit so it doesn't kill my eyes. But yeah, it was a little dark. So far, nothing crazy. This guy's a character. Amateur filmmaker for sure. Amateur, what do you say? This is like textbook found footage, you know? You never keep the camera still, you're always moving around. Great way to get motion sickness, which I normally get, but I'm not feeling dizzy at all by this, which is good. Oh gosh, I am just, I'm scared that it's just going to be right there in their face. Or he's going to be like, oh look, pointing in the distance, and boom, it's right there. Oh, this is stressful. We've gotten through 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes of the 21-minute video, and it's only 12:30, so we're making good time. Yes. Is there a mimic curfew? Alright, so they're complaining about food. She's like, should we even be out this late? He is saying, don't worry about it. I'll make you some food when you get home. Please keep the camera up. I can't see anything. I'm so afraid of what he's going to bump into. So the camera guy, I guess, I'm assuming this is Christopher and Janice. Yeah, I mean, it'd have to make sense. And I wonder if, I don't know. We'll just see. We'll just see. See, my question was, what are they actually looking for? Like, are they out trying to, get footage of a mimic, or are they just playing around with their camera? Or, I mean, a brand new camera, just playing around with a new toy? I feel like they know where a mimic's at, and they're trying to get footage of it. Maybe one that has just eaten, and it's digesting its food, maybe because they think it's safe. And maybe things are going to take a turn for the worst. And they bump into something that's not so friendly. Okay, I see the girl's shadow. Nothing crazy yet. Okay, I thought that was blood. That's just grass. More grass. Looks like they're getting off the beaten path. They're walking off the beaten path now. Like either the sidewalk is like full of whatever this growth is. It's just maybe overgrown. So maybe they're wandering off in a path here. There is a curfew. Oh gosh. I don't like those smiley faces. That's not good. That means we're probably going to see a mimic. So there must be a curfew imposed. Now, I wonder if, apparently there was a huge growth of mimic population as of 1986. This is evidence from 1983. So maybe this happened before, and this is while the population is already increasing steadily, and they're going to see incidents of people getting hurt, injured, or whatever, and then that's where they have to release an official tape that's probably not going to have the best information. He said, wait, I think you see something. Oh my gosh. Oh no. It's just a textbook found footage camera. It's like not reliable, but it's also, gets the best angles in the world, but when you're moving, it makes you sick to your stomach. Oh no. Okay, now we're in the woods. So here's I just hope they don't run into anything but a mimic. I mean, mimics are pretty bad, but I mean, at least I don't want a host to be out there. That's the last thing I want to see. We only saw them in one area in the north. It was pretty cold too, like a snow-covered area. So, and this is the mimic defense instructional tape. So maybe it's just mimics. I hope. I didn't know that the mimics like ran. Like it says, okay, if they give chase, you need to run. I thought they just walked or shambled around. I didn't know they could run too. I mean, I guess it makes a lot of sense. Come on, Christopher and what's your name, Janice? Jeez. Oh gosh, more smiles. More toothy smiles. Oh, and just so you guys know, I'm sorry that I am stopping the video like every few seconds. I'm doing this mostly for so I can make sure I am explaining my thoughts as I'm watching this, and then also because I don't want to get any kind of copyright type stuff. I'm just scared now because after 7 years of creating content, I got my first copyright strike just last week on my anime channel because I was reviewing some Demon Slayer, recapping a Demon Slayer season 3 episode, and unfortunately, I had, after multiple attempts, edited the video all kinds of different ways, highly edited footage. I used stills, slow-mos, whatever else, because I'm not trying to re-show the episode. I'm trying to discuss certain specific items, recap, and then develop theories for the future. Anyways, long story short, I ended up getting a copyright strike for a 12-second clip that was a mashed up montage of a bunch of different images. And so for whatever reason, I got a copyright strike. So that video was taken down. I then re-uploaded the video, and it was fine for 4 days. And then just last night, in the middle of the night, I got another copyright claim, not a strike. If you get 3 strikes, they'll take down your channel, and then they'll terminate your channel, and then if they want any associated channels with that. So that would be like every single YouTube channel I have, so everything that I have. So I cannot let that happen. So that's why I'm a little cautious in these lengthier scenes like this. But I ended up re-uploading the video, and then I made a different edit, and then this now was 10 seconds they were talking about. Well, this 10-second clip was not a continuous shot. It was actually three-second images that I meshed together, and I had transitioned and put together so seamlessly that it made it seem like it was one single image and one continuous image or shot. And I got copyrighted for that. I tried to remove that segment or trim it out of the video, even though it would have had a weird pause or weird break in the video. And of course, they said, oh, that's not good enough either. So without messing with it anymore, I just took it down, and I was like, I'm not going to do any recaps anymore. Instead, I'm just going to focus on anime theories and things like that for anime-only viewers. But I was really concerned that, I was going to get a second strike, so I did not want to risk it. So that's why I've been a little cautious. So sorry if I am pausing a little bit more frequently. I just wanted to give you some backstory as to why. 7 years, clean record, then I got a strike, and then I'm getting all these claims. So it's like, man, it's just kind of scary because I can't lose my channels. Hope you guys understand. No, I don't know. Dogs barking is a good sign because it means that they either sense you, or if and depending on how they're barking, it's a really telltale sign too. Like if they're barking, you can tell like they're panicked. You can tell if they're barking because they're angry. You can tell if they're barking because they're scared. I mean, you can tell. It's just like how babies cry differently. Each cry means something. Each bark means something too. They definitely sense something. I can't see anything, Mr. Christopher. Exactly. Literally can't see anything. It's all right. Understandable, really. I appreciate that. Yeah, I got to make sure, man. I was a little bummed out that I got that copyright strike. I never got one before. Oh, gosh. This is going to be super creepy. A grody scene. I don't think I've heard that term in a long time. So it's probably someone that got eaten by a mimic, or they think it's a person, but it's actually a mimic trying to pretend or like disguise itself as a human. Never mind. So this man must have been attacked by a mimic while he was in a trailer. So maybe he lives like in a trailer home or some kind of like RV or something like that.
Like they didn't let anyone nearby. It was like this big conspiracy.
Oh, I'm trying not to sneeze. So far, I mean, this is a long walk.
Hopefully, I get a good one for it.
It keeps turning on and off like you mentioned, so we got a few skips here and there. Man, I'm looking I'm trying to scan on the outside. You can't see anything. No, nothing new in chat. I was gonna say, oh, he turned around. I was gonna say, don't tell me you lost. Okay. Also trying to listen closely, see if there's anything weird that we can't catch in the captions. Gosh, that's hard to say. Good gosh, these guys are. This is gonna be the 21-minute video right here of them just walking. Okay, so they had to go from the sidewalk to like a wooded area, like pretty much probably cut across a field, and then now they're back on the road. And I'm assuming they're gonna come up on the trailer or maybe something where the incident occurred with the Grody incident with the man and the mimic. And she keeps talking about how hungry she is. Obviously, it did pass my mind for 2 seconds, but I don't think mimics can talk. For a brief second, like a fraction of a second, I was like, what if she is the mimic? Because she's mentioned about how hungry she is multiple times. But again, I don't think that the mimic would have waited so long to eat. I also don't think they talk, so. Five more minutes. Well, you better skip some of that footage, brother. Looks like a city. A few buildings. Okay, so we're right. They did have to cross a field, get through a tree line, so like a wooded area, and then now they're going to a trailer park. So the man that was attacked in that grody scene, he did live in a trailer park, so it must have been a mobile home or type manufactured home or mobile home type situation. So he's in a trailer park. So there's probably a bunch of other trailers or neighbors nearby. And eat. We'll feed you, Janice. He says he didn't want to be out there. I don't trust him. Knight of Blackfire says, I'm not sure if they can talk. I know they'll use sounds, but I'm not sure about actual speech. Okay. I do remember that now that you brought it up in the Mimic and the Living Institute and Living Meat Institute documentary video. They do mention that they make certain noises. They didn't specifically say what, though. Trailer parks, always in the middle of nowhere. Yes. Always in a nice rural area. No lights nearby. Her face is like blotted out. What do we see? Oh, he said path. I thought he said patch. Okay, so from the sidewalk to the tree line to the road, he literally said 5 minutes. I think he's obviously it's a lot further than they thought. Now they're back on like a path. It looks like almost a dirt road. Where's the trailer park? Okay, nothing so far, just a bunch of dirt. It does look like a dirt road. Oh, I'm just ready for the jump scare. Okay, that was just trees. I was like, oh my, Slender Man. What in the Slender Man is that? Foreign? I don't think he said that. Is there something in the tree? I don't know why he's looking up. He must have heard something. And I haven't heard Janice. Okay, this pan is what's going to happen, guys. This is a classic horror pan. And we're going to see something that we don't need to be seeing. Maybe a hand behind a branch. He sees something. There'd be no reason for him to pan that unless he heard something or saw something. When Janice hasn't said a peep. What I'm expecting to see is like, if this is the tree, like you see the fingers like around a branch or something, you know? I don't know. Or maybe just a smiling face staring at you. He has not talked to Janice yet. I don't understand why. They've been chatting this entire time. There she is. She's fine. She's got her little jeans and shoes on and her green sweater or shirt, so she's up to the left. They're just very quiet now. Oh, cameras. Flesh and bone. Oh, gosh. The Elder Mimic is kind of like Slender Man. Only part you can actually see is the face. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Now, it's got that white, like, smiling face. That's creepy because everything else pretty much blends into the darkness. The prey is being stalked. Oh, gosh. That's what he was looking in the woods for. He must have noticed, you know. You know how you can tell when you're being watched? That sixth sense. Oh, come on. He doesn't know where he's going. Then that means they're going to get lost. And when they get lost, the Mimic's probably going to find a way to corner them. I don't think he actually knows. I think he has a general idea, and he's just trying to be confident like you would. Like, oh, hey, no, I got this. It's just right over here. I've been there 1,000 times. Maybe he's never even been, right? And he's just going off of instructions that he heard about, and he honestly doesn't know the exact location. I feel like they're going to get lost in the woods, and that's going to create an opportunity for the Mimic that's been stalking them to corner them and maybe hunt them down. Oh, gosh. Okay, he says he's been there. Oh, okay. It's just a car. A hunk of rock. Production value, baby. It's just a vehicle, right? Yeah, you don't get tetanus. Lockjaw is pretty bad, but I don't think you'd get. It's pretty rare. Okay. It says music, but I don't hear any. Prey is being stalked. Okay, the camera turned off again. Pause. So far, I haven't seen any like hidden images, no cuts or breaks in the footage, like so we can see any pages for the princes, anything like that. Other than the redacted like face of I think it's Janice that's been blocked out, I haven't seen anything. It might at some point be beneficial for us to go back and look through it, maybe off stream for me to watch it again, but I haven't seen anything yet. No cuts or anything that's odd or out of place. I think I saw something. Never mind. This is lights. Why? He's looking up in the trees. I mean, Christopher must literally be sensing something is watching them. I didn't know they could climb. I know that obviously they can contort their bodies and fit in different spaces. I didn't think, it didn't cross my mind, and it should have, that they would be good climbers. He's been looking in the trees the entire time, and not only just at the level where maybe a normal like walking type creature would be, but now he's starting to look up and scan the canopy. I'm just kidding. Like the jungle. Just kidding. But he's definitely scanning the upper parts of the trees. So he's either hearing noises coming from there, or he just senses something is off. Someone left their shoes. I wonder why. Oh gosh. The shoes that were over by the vehicle? Yikes. Old rusted car and shoes. Lovely. He's way up there. I mean, he's aiming like as high as you could possibly look. Okay. You said that already. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Janice is very patient. And considering that the mimics are flesh-eating creatures, like, do these kids have a weapon or guns or a bat or something? Oh gosh. A mimic can climb only if they need to. Knight of Blackfire says, it could also be boredom. I tend to just look at random stuff when I'm bored. They've been walking for... Okay. That makes sense. Like, I'm a super cautious kind of person. And I'm always thinking, like, I was just trained this way, like, and raised this way. But, like, to always assess, like, threat levels and stuff. I don't know. It's like... It goes into a lot of my history. But long story short, no matter what situation I'm in, I always aim to assess, like, a threat level. And based on, like, what my surroundings are, whatever, right? Escape routes, whatever. And I always have some sort of something on me to protect myself, whether it be a knife or whatever. So it's just funny because considering that they're in this environment where mimics are real and they hunt people down, they're going in the cover, like pretty much the cover of night, obviously because there's curfews and whatever else. So that would also kind of indicate there's definitely a real threat there, right? Anyways, mimics, they're in the dark and they're in the woods, and I don't really know if he knows exactly where he's going. But that's just a bad recipe, you know. Like, I would be on edge, you know, and I'd be very aware, and definitely try to see if anything was trying to stalk us, whatever. It'd be hard for me to be very calm and as I guess relaxed as these guys are, considering that this would be a threat. It's just not the behavior I would exhibit if I was in that same situation. But yeah, it does make sense. Like when you say they're probably just bored, you know, it's very similar to how a lot of people are they're kind of like, it's fine, it won't happen to me. Or, you know, I'm not like that. I'm always like, yep, that's going to happen to me. So, what do they say? Prepare for the worst, right? But expect the unexpected. But I read in a book a long time ago, expect nothing because the worst has already happened. So now you need to find a way out of it, right? So that's kind of the mentality. It's like, no, everything bad that can happen will happen. I just need to be able to find a way out calmly and quickly, you know, or strategically, tactfully. But anyways, let's see. Chat's going wild. Let's see. I'm just kidding. I recommend buckshot. A shotgun, yeah, for sure. You don't have to be a good shot to hit him in the head or the legs there. That'd be good. Knight of Blackfire says, I don't think they care much for safety, seeing how they're going to a murder scene at a trailer park in the middle of nowhere at night on foot. And I might add, unarmed. With a faulty camera. Yeah, these guys aren't the...
There's no one here now, though. Not a single building in sight.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's like way over there.
Yeah, that's like the city over there.
There's no one here.
You say that. There's no body there, but there's... No. Yeah, I'm trying to say there's not a person there, but there's something there. Not a who, a what. Don't tell me that the mimic cleared out the trailer park. Thank you.
Okay. So you take the camera and
Okay.
the light. Point at me, but don't point at me.
I wonder if that's Darian. I bet it is. That's really cool. And I bet he was the one that was making the meat crawl penne or whatever. That's got to be him, right?
Like a bark bag.
Nice. Uh-oh. I don't know what he took out of his pocket. I can't tell if it's notes that he's reading from or I don't know what it is. Matchbook. He's reading something. I'm not sure if it's notes. makes me immediately start thinking of. I mean, obviously, I'm jumping to conclusions, but that's the whole point, right? I'm thinking if he's reading notes or whatever, is it like notes on where everything happened, the location, or is it like steps to recreate what happened, or you know how like you got a lot of people that there was a murder scene and they go visit it and they say this is what happened, and they reenact it kind of thing. I don't know if it's that serious, but I think it was the officials who cleared the park. I think this was before the public knew of mimics. I think, anyways. Okay, this is 1983. So I believe they probably knew of mimics because, well, depending on when the Living Meat Institute did their documentary, those aren't dated very well, but we do know that it's sometime at least after the 70s, probably early 80s, because the graph in one of the first videos shows the influx of Vita Carnis activity spiking in the 30s and an upward trend the entire time until a little bit past the 70s. So it's probably, late 70s, early 80s at that point in time of the living research video. So I'm sure they know about them, but I don't know if at this point in time the curfew's been instated. And maybe it has, because they keep saying, hey, it's kind of late. We shouldn't be late out this late. So I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. The curfew might be because of something different, but I'd imagine it has to do with the Vita Carnis species. Oh, Mr. Singularity confirmed this. So let's see. It was the officials who cleared the park. So the trailer park's cleared out. This was Night of Blackfire says, I think this was before the public knew of mimics. Oh, I get what you're saying now. It's before the actual, so it's not before mimics were there. That's what I was thinking in my head. It's before the public even knew about them. So before maybe those documentaries and stuff. That makes sense. So before they're like, hey guys, there's monsters that eat people. So that's why they haven't said anything about mimics or anything. And that's also because that would definitely put them on edge. So that makes a lot of sense. Night of Blackfire. So they're just like, oh my gosh, there was a murder scene. Let's go check it out. That fits. Okay, they're probably giving information about the scene. But we have captions on, so we can kind of bypass some of that. Although, when he arrived at home, he found a grisly scene. Okay, so maybe a boy found his father, and when he came home, it was the grisly scene. Found his father completely dead. I don't know if it was like this. This is now where he was like mauled or whatever, and they're gonna be, what the heck happened? A cannibal? And watch, it was a freaking mimic. Footage is prior to public knowledge of mimics. That was incredibly helpful. Thank you for proposing that idea, Blackfire, and thank you for confirming it, Mr. Singularity. You guys are awesome. He loves saying grisly scene. Okay. So this is starting to make sense because immediately after they found the dead person, the authorities were contacted. They start closing off everything. Mr. Night of Blackfire says that they actually closed off and cleared out the park, the trailer park. So obviously then they knew, okay, this was an attack from one of the mimics that the government knew about, but the people hadn't. So they were probably trying to keep it, I guess hidden from the public view or whatever, so that they weren't knowledgeable about these creatures yet. I can't hear you. No one was allowed. Okay, so no one was allowed by. Only a few people actually witnessed what occurred. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go. There was, I guess the authorities were acting kind of odd. They weren't releasing a lot of information. There's only a few witnesses that actually saw what did happen. Apparently, once they did decide to release information, they mentioned that it was a suicide. Oh, I shouldn't probably say that. That it was self harm or whatever. Yeah, I don't want to. You know, every time you say that word, that's all it takes to get demonetized. Um, so I'll say the authorities. Let's see. Official statement. Trying to find how to word it. The authorities' official statement of the. I'm going to put grisly scene, as we keep saying. Grody scene. Was declared a blank. You guys know what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it because I forgot. It'll probably. YouTube hates that word. Okay, so then everybody ended up moving almost immediately. He did a Kermit. Hermit. Okay, so the trailer where the incident occurred was moved away immediately, and so were the people. The people moved, and so that's kind of tying to what Night of Blackfire was saying when the officials cleared the trailer park. Okay. And removed the trailer itself. All right, all right. Oh gosh, quit saying that. Okay, so although the police stated one thing happened, the witnesses are saying something different happened. That's what my friend prefers to say instead of, oh, he did a Kermit. That is an interesting, yeah, I like that. We can say that instead. They've seen was too, oh, you and your grisly words. He's very descriptive. This dude's like he's like, I'm gonna bring the truth to you guys, like unofficial, unpaid journalism. That's always the most raw. Thank you, Janice. Another voice of reason. You said grizzly like 5 times, grody like twice. Yes. Don't say grizzly so much. Okay, good. They reshot it. That was his little script. And that makes sense. I thought he was pulling out like matches, and for a second I was like, "Oh my gosh, did he catch wind of like the whole Prince thing and now they're doing a ritual or something to reenact what happened?" But no. Nothing so so dark or creepy as that. It's really just young kids trying to share the truth, and do their little active journalism stuff, which is cool. One take Jake, or one take Christopher. Forgot your name, buddy. Why is it rolling? Did you catch? Uh-oh, she might not have got it because he said I only have 30 minutes of footage, which he wasted on the entire path there, if I may. And he's saying, oh, why is it still rolling? That it might have actually possibly overwritten some of the other footage because he only has 30 minutes. So maybe all those takes, maybe she didn't record the good one. Whoops. He's like, you had one job, Janice. You can always shoot that scene elsewhere. You don't have to be at the site. Oh, dear God. He's pulling a Logan Paul. All of this for, I think, a school project. Pretty sure I heard something about marks. He did say that. I just thought that was interesting because he said, I hope I get a good mark. I don't know if that's... So forgive me, but I'm from the States. When I heard that, I was like, that's an interesting thing to say. Typically... That's what we hear like British people say or people from that area. Oh, I got good marks. You can say that here. It's just not very common. It's not a common expression. So then I started thinking, okay, maybe I mean Canada. They probably adopt a lot of their vernacular. And I've been to Canada, but I went to like the part where it was all wooded and stuff, and everyone was saying that's pretty much all we got. And they sounded just like us. They sounded like Northerners, but not like Jersey or New York Northerners. They sounded like I don't know, like Washington, the people from like Washington, like Washington State. So I was like, I wonder if that's why I started thinking like, obviously this must be in Canada, but I was like, I don't know, it's just a weird expression to say Marx. So when I thought that, I was like, maybe he's doing it for, I thought for a job, but it makes a lot more sense that he's doing it for school. So that's a really good point to actually clarify Night of Blackfire. Oh gosh, more smiley faces. That's never good. Whenever Mr. Singularity is happy, I mean, it makes me happy, but it also freaks me out. All this for a C plus project. If only he knew how true his words are. He's like, this would be a perfect time for a serial killer to just jump out and grab us, you know? A. But they don't. Yeah, they don't even have like the Canadian like accent that you know that I'm accustomed to. I went when I was pretty young, but I mean it wasn't that long ago. Well, I mean it was very long ago. I was a boy, but I mean they had a very distinct accent, you know. And they sound because I was out in like in Grand Forks, British Columbia, and it's very rural, so they're like the country folk, you know. Like, you know, so they have a certain accent in that region versus if you go to like, you know, what is it, Quebec or whatever. Don't. Oh my gosh. Chris is gone. When the hell did he disappear? He's there. He's right here. Okay, now he's further back. It looks like he's back and to the right. Oh my gosh. To be fair, I've watched a few Canadian YouTubers and they don't really have accents. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but you know, like how they say, "Oh, Americans don't have accents." Well, we do, right? We have accents, like depending if you're, and even for, like slang and stuff, like from the South, or if you're from like the country part, or if you're from the Northeast, or if you're from like the North. You know, you have different things that you say and expressions. So yeah, it's not like they have like, say for example, like a true hardcore like British accent or whatever. Let me think, an Indian accent or something like that. It's an accent that really would more you'd pick up on the expressions that they say and stuff like that. But they sound pretty American for sure. But where I went, they were like country. It was real country and very rural. So they had a lot of like little sing-songy kind of tune to them. It was kind of funny. But there was like, again, it sounded like a northern. I'm trying to think of where is that. It definitely wasn't like New Yorkish. It was more like, yeah, I guess like I said, like the Northwest. They kind of talk. They talk like how they would speak, almost like a Minnesota type. Actually, yeah, it was very close to a Minnesota type accent. Some people from Minnesota, they kind of have some expressions. They're real sing-songy when they speak. But yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Not necessarily like, oh my gosh, you can tell just from what they say. Boom, they're Canadian, because it's a lot more, I'd say, a lot less distinct than other accents. But it's more so like the expressions they make. Let's see. Let's catch up on chat. Blah blah blah. Canadian really don't have. Yeah, true. Isn't the girl's voice familiar? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I know what's going on with this. Oh my gosh. Okay, now we know. It all comes together. Mr. Singularity said, "Isn't the girl's voice familiar? The crunch of flesh and bone." Now remember, I think it's actually the Living Institute footage. We do see that a mimic has like broken into a house. It's cornered a female, and this Janice is very likely that same female that we know gets captured and at least bitten a few times, because you can literally, as Mr. Singularity so eloquently put it, hear the crunch of flesh and bone as he's gnawing at her. Knight of Blackfire says, I've been told I've had a Boston accent. I was born and raised in the South and never been close to the East Coast. There you go, right? So maybe it's a little bit harder than we think. But yeah, I mean, in general, you can kind of pick up on things like that. You can pick up on where a person's maybe from. I know that specifically for me, people say that they can never actually tell what I am. One, like me, what race I am, and then they obviously have a tough time then pinning down what my accent is. They say, man, you really don't have an accent. Now, when I hear myself speak, I think I do, and I think it's pretty indicative of where I'm from. But in general, I try to not have an accent. I mean, I don't really try. It's just an unconscious effort. But there's certain things that we say in my region or whatever that you'd be, oh yeah, this is where this guy's from. But a lot of people don't even know like my race or ethnicity or anything like that, and they can't really pin down my accent, so it's hard for them to really like be like, what are you, dude? And I'm like, I don't mind telling. I just like people to guess. It's fun to be mysterious for a few seconds, and then it's like, okay, simple as that. This is what I am. But yeah. Girl. Oh my gosh. Let me get situated. Oh my gosh. My chair is so loud. I'm sorry, guys. It's super squeaky for no reason. Janice? I'm hungry. Yeah, Chris, you jerk. I wonder if Chris is actually played by Darian. Nothing yet. Now we know nothing other than maybe a chase scene can happen out here. She gets inside of a structure in the Mimic documentary footage anyways, and is then, I guess, attacked from within like a room or something like that that's blocked off. So nothing too bad can happen here. I say that as I back away from the screen preparing for a jump scare. Oh my gosh. This is too much. I love how it says foreign every once in a while in the captions, like, applause. There's no applause. Closed captions. What are you doing? You're ruining my vibe. Oh gosh. She's booking it too. Mr. Singularity says, the video after this one has a very important thing in it. Very important. Uh-oh. Streamlabs is spamming you guys. Follow, 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 follow. My apologies. Oh gosh. She heard something. Otherwise she wouldn't have called out. Oh my gosh. Okay, that scared me. Okay. She was walking back to the car that they noted, and this mimic just chilling right next to it, making this creepy noise. It's got this weird, like, guttural, like, shriek. And we were correct. The runtime for this particular video is almost at 21 minutes. So from, well, hell, I didn't mark it, but pretty much from the end of the actual defense instructional tape, which wasn't very long, I think maybe 6 minutes long. Everything up to this point has been the found footage for the Christopher and Janice case of 1983. She did not say yesterday. Oh gosh, it was eating. Okay, was it? Oh god, I thought it was a tire. It was eating Darian. I mean, he was eating Big Boy. I wonder, did she break into a house, found an abandoned home, or outran the mimic to her house? Because she makes it to a closet. She does. Yum yum, crunch crunch. Oh gosh, it was eating. Now I have to see. I think that was at 1933. Oh gosh. Oh, they blocked it out, of course. Yeah, I was right. 1933. I'm glad I remember stuff. 19 minutes 33 seconds. There's a mimic sighting. She must be terrified, the poor girl. If you think about it, she has no clue what she's looking at. Okay. Oh, that's his head. That's why that was there. I thought that was the tire, guys. I thought that this is the vehicle. I thought it was wrapped around the tire. That is literally a bro. That is a human. That is literally the black jacket that Christopher was wearing. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, he's there again. There's that scream we all know and love. Either she's going to run all the way back to her home like Night of Blackfire said, or she's going to break into... There's no trailers around. Remember, they're cleared out, so... Oh, good gravy. Yeah, her friend has become its appetizer. And her the main course. I fluffed that one up a bit. And her the meal. That's freaky. Oh gosh. I had no clue that it was. I thought that was a tire. Thank you so much for pointing that out, because that just creeped me out even more. Literally eating the dude's face. Now, was that the scream of the creature, or was that her? That sounds like it's back to the right. She's breathing, and as she's running, you hear her exhaling and inhaling. That was the shriek of the mimic. And that sounds like it sounds like a girl. This is creepy because it's like a screaming, wailing girl. Leash. I don't like that at all. Fun fact, that mimic is wearing pants. No way. No way. Night of Blackfire says it'll have to be somewhere where someone found the camera for it to appear in the doc. Yeah, it would definitely have to be like... Obviously somewhere in... I was thinking it was going to be, found... I didn't know it tied to that incident that we saw in the closet. But I was thinking, okay, they found the camera in the woods, that whole thing, like Blair Witch Project style. But no, she must have made it indoors. Obviously, the mimic is going to get her at some point. And we see the shot of like the blood splatter on the wall as he's consuming her. That mimic's wearing pants? No way. No, I gotta see that. The creature. Yeah, that was the creature screaming. I don't like that noise. It's pursuing her, and it's getting a lot closer. Okay, we've only got like 45 seconds until this video cuts. Okay, she found it somewhere. She did make it home. Gosh, she was booking it, huh? Oh, gosh. Okay. Oh, no way. No way. Oh, no. It got her. 20 minutes, 45 seconds. It got her. It's grabbing her by the feet. Oh my gosh. Yep. It got her. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was terrible. I was going to say terrible and terrifying at the same time. Terrible. Terrible is a new word that enhances the meaning of both terrible and terrifying. I need a picture. I need a Prince picture. Ah, got it. Okay. Time to... That's probably at 21:05. Playback speed. It's gonna be a little tough one. Okay. Gosh. Poor girl, man. So my thing is, I wonder. Oh yeah, I don't even know. If it is the same girl, it seems like slightly different footage because the door that, or the closet or whatever that mimic was reaching around, it was definitely a white door as well, but it had to reach its hands around. Now this door seemed to, it might have been a screen door or something, or it had some sort of large like window cut out, and that's how he was trying to reach in. So I wonder if is it the same girl? Is it the same incident that we saw? Because it seemed that the original one was it attacked her from the front, and then the camera was off to the side facing the wall. And this one, she was attacked from the back, dropped to the camera, and the camera then kind of turned around and it could see what was happening to her. And it seems like it started biting and attacking her from the back. I don't know. Any second now. Beautiful. And again, thank you so much, Knight of Blackfire, for pointing out this little feature. This is huge. Okay. The critters led the prince out of the cave up to the top of the hill. The prince had laid buried under. The prince had laid buried under, and showed them the forest. This is our home, full of wonder and beauty. Although the forest struggles to provide for all of us critters, and we are facing disaster. Can you help us? Okay, the critters led the prince out of the cave up to the top of the hill. The prince had laid buried underneath. So pretty much this hill or whatever served as the cave for the prince. Up on top, you have the forest. The creatures then say, hey, this is our forest. It's awesome. It provides for us, even though not really, because we're starving. Can you help us? We're going to get a screen print of this. And this is at 21:06. The critters ask for help. Interesting. So they said the forest provides, but it really... Oh, I'm sorry. They were actually being honest. The forest struggles to provide for us, and we are facing disaster. My bad. They were being honest. Here I am trying to destroy their reputation. I'm sorry, little critters. I'm sure you guys aren't that bad. Wink, wink. I have to get rid of this. I'm sorry. This is too creepy. I do not like that. Right there. This is number 11. Okay. I'd like to at least... Yeah, I'll know that's 11 as it is. I didn't enhance that image, but that's fine. Let's see what you guys are up to. What are you guys chatting about? It could be the same actress was used, but in universe, it's two different people. The page I was thinking of must be in the next video. Okay. Back to the woman. It could be she got away from a woman, but then, yeah. Yeah. That is another possibility. So she got inside of her, let's just call it her home. The creature busted through. Then it tried to attack her from the back. It might have bitten her. It might have hurt her or something already. She probably grabs the camera, runs into that area with the closet, locks herself in, and then, of course, because it can contort itself, it gets in between those crevices and able to open the door, and then it starts eating her. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Uh-oh. No. Oh, gosh. Uh-oh. What does this mean? Oh, creepy noise was because of the sound, not because of anything else. My bad. Playback speed makes things creepier. Made by Darian Killoy. I don't know if it's Quilloy or Killoy. I like Killoy. Alright, so we are not in a playlist anymore. Because remember, it was like completely ruining everything. The Tengi virus, what's that? Probably another analog horror. It's probably going to think I'm some like conspiracy theorist, which I am, but let's go back to the playlist. And remember, there was a video it was trying to show me a billion times. It kept skipping the one I wanted to see. And it must be a safety mechanism for like people that are sensitive, like sensitive viewers, to skip things with those types of topics. All right, we have enough time. Let's knock this one out, guys. Let's do it. And then next video we do the rest of these three. I love it. Okay, we are going to jump right into the species anomaly report. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. It's so much fun. I think of all of the different possibilities we have with all the different types of ARGs out there, analog horrors out there. I've mentioned this before. I do want to explore either Mandela Catalog or Monument Mythos after we get through the experience of Vita Carnis. So I want you guys to kind of help me decide which one we should do next, and we can explore it together. But I'm really looking forward to that. And I can't wait to be able to put all these together in like a story explained kind of concise video. That's my forte. I love doing lore and theories. And streaming is so much fun because it's raw, unscripted. I don't have to read a script or anything. I can just be as creative as I want. Just be myself. That's the fun part. The fun part about doing those other videos is I get to be as creative as I want. That's what I meant to say. Here, I just get to be myself. I don't have to do anything other than just be me. And it's just so much fun to whenever you guys are here. It's fun to be able to watch these things, but there's nothing that compares to having people chatting with you and engaging as we try and figure it out together. That's what makes it like so special to me. Oh gosh. Oh, I will. Okay, cool. I'd love to see you cover both. I will. So there's a few. So I had 4 on my main list because I had never really, and I'd always had an affinity to these types of analog horrors and these types of series, things like that, because I love how creative these people are to be able to make something that people just, it goes viral because people just like want to know more, and they just know how to give them little bits of information, just enough to make you want so much more, and to go out and to do research and to bring up Morse code translators and binary code translators and Caesar ciphers and whatever else. I love that stuff. I like solving things, I like solving mysteries and whatever else. And a lot of times, like in my main channel, this is my smallest channel actually, but in my main channel, I do a lot of lore and theories, but I don't necessarily cover things that everybody else covers. I like to cover obscure topics of games that people like, myself specifically. Like, I don't want to do lore in a game I don't care about or not passionate about. So I look at a game like, okay, this is a game that I love. Oh, okay, these are a lot of the popular theories. Who cares? Oh, this is something no one ever looked at. Like, for example, if you guys are Elden Ring fans or whatever, like just a great example would be for Elden Ring when it first came out, everybody was doing lore on like all the characters, whatever. Well, I did a theory about how America, the queen or one of the main characters of the game, could actually be like a fungus or something because of the way she or the way she reproduced. And so like I did a whole biology thing on it, like how it was asexual reproduction and did whatever else. And this is about just a video game, you know. So it's like I go into depth about these things because I love, you know, making that kind of content. So these things are so creative and so outside the box, like it's perfect. So I'm able to then just be like, wow, let me just immerse myself into this world and then figure out the mystery. That's why I love doing it. And I decided to make sure that instead of only doing like video game challenges and stuff like that, like which I normally do on this channel, I'm incorporating and really focusing much more on ARGs and analog horrors, because to me, it's a lot of fun and it's different, you know. Not a lot of people are going to do it live and try and figure out the theory live, you know, like on Happy Meat Farms. I hacked into the employee access and whatever else, HR and R&D department. And it was because of things I found on stream, and we did it on stream together. And there was no outside research, no cheating, anything like that. After the fact is the only time I'll ever do research so I can make sure I didn't miss anything. But as of now, I haven't done any research on it because I know that we still need to hack into the IT department. So I don't really like spoilers. So I want to keep away from any of the you know, the fandoms and the Wikipedias and the Reddits and stuff like that. But anyways, I know it's a long tangent, but I like to explain myself and my thought process because it's just something that I think makes sense on this type of channel. Like, I want you guys to know, like, this is how my mind works, you know? So anyways, long story short, Vita Carnis is amazing. And as I'm developing my script and writing it out for Happy Meat Farms, I'm going to do the same for Vita Carnis and every other analog horror that I cover on my main channel. But this channel is doing so well. I think I'm so proud of it. It's my smallest channel, but I'm just so happy because like I'm able to really just be me and people still enjoy it. And that's like a really good feeling, you know. As a content creator, a lot of people have to create these personalities and it's like, well, it's not really me or whatever, right? But this is me 100%. And it's really fun to be able to do things I love, like solve mysteries and all that, and then you guys interact. Like, there's just nothing better than that to me. Let's see. If you do cover Mandela, it does have a specific watch order, if I remember right. I think it's on the creator's Twitter. Okay, good to know. Night of Blackfriars Visitors, just remember to always have subtitles on when watching. I like to have the captions on for sure. That's why I do puzzles. Mr. Singularity, I respect that. Three brilliant minds. When our powers combine, we're unstoppable. Oh, did I write this down? Nope, we're in the wrong video. I need my species anomaly report. Driver's Edge. Whoa, he's updated the whole... What? He's getting all tactical with it now. Look, got the subscribe button and everything. Thought they got rid of the red subscribe buttons. The video contains flashing lights, loud sounds, and graphic content. We already saw Kermit conversation, so I'm sure we'll be able to deal with this. Okay. It's kind of dark. Carnis species log. Oh. You know me and my notes. Carnis species log number 14. I wrote down all of the Happy Meat Farms subject numbers and all that stuff, and I was able to find out quite a few things because of it. So being thorough does actually amount to something. Abnormality documentation for a harvester. So I'm assuming this creature is a harvester that has essentially become something else. I wonder if our little meat snake friend Jeff is going to be on this anomaly report. Notable population density shift discovered between the dates of 1989. Okay, well, pretty much from August to October. Okay. I'm going to write this down here. Abnormality. Now, population density shift. Now these are mostly, the harvesters are mostly found in like wooded areas, kind of like in the pretty much North America, and I think it was onwards, or pretty much every area that was kind of like north where it's like wooded kind of thing. So they started shifting between 8-1 of 89 and 10-1 of 89. Maps display the charted populations of harvesters' location on a monthly basis. So they've been tracking these creatures. There's that map again. I need to look at this. This is going to be important, obviously. Hudson Bay area, we know. We got to figure this out. Whoa. So there's a bunch on this island, which is interesting. That's like none of it, I think. Or Cape Coral, or one of them. I don't remember what it was. One of those. I don't know which one this one is anymore. Wow, okay, so they're like pretty, they're not in the very cold areas, but they're definitely in the wooded areas for sure. That's August 1st. Let's see the migration. What's going on there? Okay, it's transitioning from the map to found footage, it looks like. Oh gosh. Who are these creepy people? Is my speed at the right thingy? Playback speed's normal, okay. Who are these creepy people? Oh no. We all know that there was an incident with the harvesters, and there were some hikers that got attacked. I don't know if this is them. A harvester's lethality is 100%. I remember that. I remember that because there's no cure to their venom, the paralysis venom and the neurotoxin. So you're pretty much going to bleed. You're anticoagulant, and then you paralysis. So once they get you, you bleed out and you die. Oh gosh. Knight of Blackfire says, I just remembered what happens in this video. Mr. Singularity said, what a nice family that went on a hike in Canada. In Canada woods. Oh, I see something. I saw a red tendril. Look right here. And it flashed back to the map. Okay. There's so much stuff going on. I'm like afraid something's going to pop out. September 1st. So August, September, October. One more month of deviation or charting. I have a feeling that this is like the camera, and now it's somehow maybe a little bit underground, and the tendril is just kind of moving along the way. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's 100%. I think what's going on there. Sheesh. What is happening? The island. I know. I need to figure out which island it is. I need to find it out. We have so many great pictures of the island too. The anomaly report I know is incredibly important. What is this? Oh no, the poor baby. Oh, it's terrifying. The poor. Oh. What? What is this? The scare. I'm so sorry about the screams. What the heck am I looking at? Is that a skull? I don't even know. I don't know what any of this is. Yep, that's a skull. Oh, wow, that's disturbing. I'm assuming that's what happens. That's what it sounds like whenever you're getting eaten alive by a harvester. Turn that down a little bit. I don't want to kill you guys' ears. It's completely like crushing, melting them. I don't know. It's bad. That's a skull. Wow. Well, one down. Probably little bro, right? I imagine. It's one of. I mean, shoot. It looked like a man and a child. That was noisy, but very disturbing. It looks like it captured probably the boy. It sounded like a crying child to me. Oh no. The island. The island with the red dots. Red dots. No doubt. I'm tracking. I'm tracking. So I did point out that island with the red dots on it. It was interesting that it was on an island because for anything to be on an island, it has to either be able to fly, swim, or it has to be native to that island. So that island is incredibly important. Island with dots. I really don't like the sounds in this video. I don't need that. Was really creepy. This is one island here with a large red dot, but this one here has a huge population of harvesters, which is important for sure. This is the island we're going to want to look at, and then at some point figure out, exactly what location maybe the prince is located in, and figure out why the monoliths are kind of congregated in a circle area, like some weird perimeter, like they're setting up like a perimeter or something. I'm going to turn it down. Sorry, guys. Apologize. Let me go back just a bit. I think that it just skipped from September to October, but I also thought I saw a skip. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I just skipped. Okay, so they're actually moving towards this. They're all kind of forming a circle. So they start off here on the perimeter and on the southern and southwestern sides, and now they kind of started migrating more and more and congregating very densely in this area right here. It's as if they're trying to. Now they're reaching islands as well, even these, and they're going further north, but. It's like this is like the center. I don't know what you'd call it. The ground zero or whatever. Wherever it's all taking place. They're congregating here for a reason. And maybe, I'm thinking about this. I don't remember the date that the monoliths showed up. But what if all these creatures are actually coming together to form a monolith? And they ended up being like right around this area, I thought. If I recall correctly, they formed a circle in a very small part of the Hudson Bay area. Mr. Singularity says, a husband and a father and a son and a brother, all alone, both wronged. Oh, gosh. Lovely. Lovely. Wait, did I see something there? I'm actually going to slow that down because I can't tell if it's like whenever you look at the images on a TV and you can kind of see something that's not supposed to be there. Let me go one more time. No, okay. I was curious because it seemed like some sort of shape that I was supposed to recognize. Now the map has flipped, looks like upside down. So it's like upside down. It's like mirrored image now. I'm looking. I'm trying to see. What am I seeing? I don't know why they mirrored it, but it reminds me of a brain and a brain stem for some reason, but it's probably nothing. Okay, it was in the 70s the monoliths appeared, if I remember correctly. Okay. Why is this image mirrored now? Why? I'm going to write that down. I don't know why, but that seems important to me. At 3 minutes, 29 seconds, the map is mirrored. I don't understand why. Oh, gosh. Here we go with the screams again. Yeah. Ooh-wee. Yeah, that was the child. You could see that was the child. Oh no. Just getting eaten alive. That is not good. So essentially, what it looks like to me is that this right here is documenting the order in which the family is being attacked. So it looks like it got the young child first, who was screaming, making noises, calling out for help. His mother probably arrived at the scene first, and because with harvesters have like 150-meter range or around them, it's very easy for her to have gotten caught immediately after. So it looks like now we have the child, and I guess I'm assuming the mother that has now been attacked, and we have dad and another son left to go. Oh, it's terrible. The screams are just terrifying. I saw an image there. Okay, I saw an image. It looked like he was like hanging, or I couldn't tell. Let's slow this down, baby. That was a lot for me. Those screams are incredibly creepy. That just really creeps me out. Oh, I got a perfect image. Look at that. I didn't even mean to do that. Okay, cool. So right at 4 minutes, he loves these things right at 11 seconds or like increments of that. It's really strange. 4 minutes, 11 seconds. Ooh, let me see if I can read this. That's actually really hard for me to read. I'm going to have to enhance it. So we're going to grab the screen print here. This is page 12, so we're kicking butt. I will enhance it first, and then I'll save it down. Ooh, that's still kind of hard to read. Let's see. I wish I wasn't so blind. That is pretty tough to read. The prince something back. The prince held back his arms, and before him grew a bright light. Maybe something like it was made of many colors, lights, and figures. Maybe this was a singularity. The critters, I don't know, probably much like stood by, I guess. They were shocked. They were surprised. I don't know. They're surprised. Such sublime brilliance. So maybe they were like stunned or paralyzed with the prince. Something congratulated his display. The prince conflicted. I don't know what that is. He did something to his display. He waved with the power. Oh. Somehow it's like he's deciding to use his power for their kingdom. From his kingdom, maybe? He waved with the power he maybe had with him during in his own kingdom, that came from his kingdom. He shall heal their home. That is very hard to read. I don't know why that's so hard for me to read. The stars. Uh-oh. It must be the next video. Singularity knows the page I'm talking about. The flag. Oh, gosh. Oh, when you guys talk about these things are already incredibly creepy to me, and then you guys end up being like, it gets worse. It's fine. It gets worse. Like, what? Let me try that again. This did not turn out very well. The prince something waved his arms, and before him grew a bright light made of many multicolored lights and figures. The critters something with such brilliance, sublime brilliance, the prince showed, I don't know, his display. He waved with the power he held in his hands from the kingdom, maybe. He shall hear their home. I don't know. That's tough to read. I'm not going to lie. I'm sorry, guys. It's hard for me to make out. Like, very difficult. But that is huge. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to save your family. So he's using his magic to actually help them. And that's really odd. I didn't think they were going to get along so well. Initially, I was actually concerned that he was going to be mad and frustrated with their presence. But he doesn't seem to be bothered at all. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the brightness of this image. Still can't see donk. And then we'll have this image here. Let's see. Vita Carnis hidden message 22. We're doing pretty good, I think, in getting all the images. So, shall heal. Okay. Prince used magic to heal the critters' home. I'm assuming. That's what it looks like. Now, he could be like doing like some sort of evil spell. He could be one of those kinds of guys. Playback speed normal. Oh gosh. Ambient mode activated. Let's see where we're at here. More to come.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hey, buddy.
I'm Steve Bloom, and I've voiced thousands of characters, including Wolverine.
Ooh, cool. I want to do voice acting. I've always wanted to. Okay, so this is where we're going to end it off, guys, because I do have to get some food. I am starving. I didn't have breakfast today because I had to work on that whole copyright thing from last night. So I am going to eat before I pass out. I will definitely be sure to use as much flavor enhancer as possible, but I will bear in mind that I could be eating food that contains a host of influence spores. So I will be mindful of that. But anyways, you guys are amazing. I can't wait to do the next stream on Wednesday. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will be streaming from 11 a.m. to as far as I can go before I have to eat and go get the kids. I hope you guys enjoy this. We're going to be finishing up Vita Carnis hopefully this week, and then we'll be jumping into some new ARGs, either the Mandela Catalog or Monument Mythos. And then we'll be continuing jumping through all these different ones and experiencing them together, especially some that I find just off the wall, ones that we just can kind of look at and explore as a team, as a cohesive unit. Anyways, you guys are amazing. I want to say thank you so much for just supporting, and again, this makes my day. Like, you guys being here, it's so much more fun. If I'm streaming alone, I'll still talk and communicate and narrate, but it's just so much more, I don't know, fulfilling when you guys are here. So I appreciate that. Let's see what you guys have to say. The Knight of Blackfire says he basically promised he'll heal their home so they aren't starving anymore. Yeah, I imagine it was hard to get some of the detail words in there, but it looks like he has agreed to use his magic to heal their home, which is the forest that's struggling to provide for them. If you remember, the critters were going through a period of starvation. Yeah, they were, but they love their berries. Well, Friday we shall watch Flavor Enhancer. Goodbye, Inhuman. Enjoy the new puzzle. Wait. Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, right? I'll be here Wednesday. So I'll make sure I put the little up next, or next upcoming stream, and I'll set it for Wednesday, and we'll go through as much as we can and see if we can finish it. Then I don't know if there are any other videos, but we've watched quite a few of them. And then Friday, it just depends. We'll either finish up Vita Carnis or we'll jump into a new one. But every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'll be doing this, guys. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything you guys do. If you guys like lore and stuff, be sure to check out my other channels. It's always nice to see familiar faces on the different channels and kind of being able to interact with you guys there. But this is going to be kind of what we do on this channel. So you guys are awesome. I hope you have a great day. Be safe wherever you're at. And until next time, it's the Inhuman One signing out.